Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kim and welcome back to Uncommonkim. So today, well, not even today, about a week ago, the another readathon was announced. And if you don't know, I'm a sucker for a readathon, but especially horror, thriller, spooky vibe themed readathons. So Horror Bingo has been announced by the lovely Wicked Reading. I will leave her link down below and her announcement video, and I'm going to go through the bingo board and go through what I have chosen for every single prompt. So we have a whole bingo board of prompts, 25 prompts total, and we have a year to complete the bingo board. So we have from October 1st 2024 to September 30th 2025. So I'm super excited to get to a lot of these books. There's a lot of exciting books I've chosen for this. I will go through every prompt. Some of the prompts do have a hard mode. I'm not kind of going for hard mode, but if I fulfill it anyway, happy days. But I will mention hard mode for each prompt as we go through. But yeah, this kind of board is massive, so we better get started. So the first prompt is published in 2024, and the hard mode for this is to read it in 2024. So for this I have gone for I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. So this was released this year. This is Stephen Graham Jones's new release, and I do plan on reading it in October. So what a way to start off the challenge. I'm hoping to get hard mode for this because I am planning on reading it in October, so hopefully I will read it this year. So yeah, I have gone for I Was a Teenage Slasher. Next we have The End Times Are Near, and for this we basically have to read a book that has some sort of apocalyptic end to the world type scenario. And for this we had to read a book that includes an epilogue. So for this I've gone for The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. Now I know this isn't a horror, but we are allowed to kind of put other genres on here if we so must, and this is literally the only one pretty much that isn't horror. I think. There's me saying that. Oh, I think there's a few thrillers and like mystery, like one mystery or something, but this is the only one that's completely out of that genre altogether. Next we have This Is Halloween, where we have to pick a book which happens around, the story happens around Halloween. And the hard mode for this involves trick-or-treating. So I have gone for Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. So this is like the mystery I mentioned. I don't know if this involves trick-or-treating or not, so I'm not sure if I'll get the hard mode for this or not until I've read it, but it is based around Halloween because it is based around a Halloween party, a murder that happens at a Halloween party, so I'm very much looking forward to getting to this one. Probably this spooky season, or we can hope. So next we have Blood on the Cover. So literally can be a couple of drops, but basically blood on the cover somewhere. And the hard mode for this is more than a couple of drops, so I don't think mine's going to count for this, but I've gone for Do No Harm by Jack Jordan, and here is my blood on the cover. I believe this is about a surgeon who has to make a choice with killing a patient on an operating table or saving their child. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I haven't actually read anything by Jack Jordan yet, but I own everything he's written, but I just haven't read them yet, so I'm really hoping I will enjoy this one. Next we have Woods/Wilderness, so has to take place mainly in the woods or wilderness. And the hard mode for this is there are no trees on the cover, and I have just noticed there is a tree on the cover of this book and I am livid. So don't get the hard mode for this, but I have gone for The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's like trees here, shit. But yeah, unfortunately it has trees on the cover, so I can't count it for that, but I am still really excited to read this one. Planning on reading it very early October, so hopefully I will get to this very Next we have Honouring the Classics, and the hard mode is a classic written before 1950. Now I don't think my classic is before 1950, I actually have no idea, but I don't own this yet. But I have gone for The Haunting of Hill House, as I have heard many great things about this. A lot of people really enjoy this book, and I really want to know what the hype's about, so I think I'm going to read that probably in like October, November time this year, or maybe I'll leave it for next year, but I'm definitely planning on reading it some point very soon. So I have gone for that one for this. Had translated work, so this is for a book that has been translated into English from another language, and the hard mode for this needs to feature a translator's note. So again, for my pick, I don't know if it has a translator's note because I actually don't own it, but I have gone for Tender is the Flesh. Next we have Cover Pick, and the hard mode for Cover Pick is a book that you chose surely on the cover and have no idea what the plot is. So for this I have gone for A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. I mean, the cover is just sick. Like, it's when I unboxed this I was a bit like creeped out, but it's just a bit mad. So I picked it up for that very reason. I have no idea what it's about, and to be honest, I don't want to know, so I'm just going to go into this without knowing. But yeah, I do get the hard mode for this one, which is lovely. Next we have Reaper Read, and for Reaper Read you have to read a book where death kind of is the main attribute of the book, where death is there's themes around death and grief and things like that. And the hard mode for this is death is personified or otherwise symbolised by a physical being. So for this I have gone for The September House by Carissa Orlando. I've heard really great things about this recently, but I don't know if it's going to hit hard mode or not. But I believe there are a lot of hauntings and ghosts and people in said house, so I might get away with it. But I don't really know, but I am going to go for this one, as yeah, basically woman moves into a house that she is her dream home, and every September hauntings happen, walls bleed and God knows what else, and instead of leaving she stays. So I'm really excited to read this one. Next we have title has a spooky word. This could be any kind of spooky word that you would count as a spooky word, and the hard mode has that it has 2 or more spooky words in the title. I don't get the hard mode for this, but I have gone for Murder in the Family by Cara Hunter. I have been wanting to read this for the longest time. It was really hyped up over like a year or so ago, and it is like mixed media, so you have text messages, newspaper articles, or interviews, loads of things, and you basically have to try and solve the murder before the end of the book, and I'm really excited to read this one, and I'm counting murder as a spooky word. The next one is Dead Man Walking. So for this, the book needs to feature reanimated corpses or zombies, and the hard mode is that the book is part of a series. Now I've actually used this one as my free space because I don't really do zombie books, and also zombie books that, you know, people do actually recommend, I just don't think I'm going to enjoy. So I have used this one as my free space, as we were told we are allowed 1 free space on the board if we so need it. So I have gone for that one. If you do have any books that you think would fit that prompt and you think I actually would enjoy it, let me know. I'm really up for reading it, but I just don't think it's my thing. We have genre bending, so basically we need a book that combines horror with another genre. So it can be fantasy with horror, or it can be sci-fi horror, and the hard mode is one of the genres needs to be one that you don't typically read. So I do get the hard mode for this, as I have gone for Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar, which is a YA horror or middle grade horror. I forget which, but I don't read much YA or middle grade anymore. I used to read quite a bit, but I'm mainly an adult girly now, and YA is not my shit. So I'm gonna go for this one, because who doesn't love a creepy clown? Next we have a 5-star read. So basically a book you gave 5 stars, and the hard mode is that you would predict it would have been 5 stars. So I haven't actually put a book down for this one because I actually don't know, and I'm kind of just gonna see what I read, and then I'll know if it's a 5-star and if I predicted it or not. I'm probably going to pick one out of like my 5-star prediction video or something, so I haven't put a book down for that one for that very reason. Next we have a BIPOC author, is that how we say it? So it needs to be a book written by a BIPOC author, and the hard mode is a book by an author that is new to you. So I have gone for My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I know, another Stephen Graham Jones book, but I thought it fit quite well with the prompt, and I also haven't read anything by him, so this would count for hard mode, which is grand. Next we have Cryptid, which is a book featuring a cryptid creature, so Mothman, Bigfoot, unicorn, anything like that. And the hard mode, it has to be a creature that you do not know anything about. So for this, I've gone for Into the Drowning Deep, as I've been told it has killer mermaids. And I know nothing about killer mermaids, or mermaids in general, so I have gone for that. Also because I quite like Pirates of the Caribbean, and the thoughts of killer mermaids makes me laugh, so I've gone for that. We have Title Has a Number, where basically the title of the book needs to feature a number, whether it is written out or it is the actual physical numbers. And the hard mode is title includes more than one or has a number plus a word. So for this I have gone for episode 13. Again, I don't own this one, so I can't physically show you the book, but this is the book I've gone for. Next we have Satanic Panic, a book that features elements of an occult, and the hard mode is a physical item is used in the book that falls under occult category, tarot cards, Ouija board, talisman, that kind of thing. So for this I have gone for Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. I'm planning on buddy reading this with Lauren some point in the next month or so, and I do believe this has a lot to do with like witches and occults and things like that, so I am planning on reading this for that. If I am wrong on any of these prompts, please let me know, because it does make me paranoid, but I'm pretty sure it does, because Lady Macbeth. Next we have book club pick, obviously a book you read through with a book club, and there is no hard mode for this one. So for this I have gone for Bunny. Steph's Patreons, Steph Loves Patreons, we are reading this in September/October, so I am going to count this for that prompt. If I don't get to it, I always have Literary Dead Book Club to fall back on, or anything else that appears. So I definitely will complete this at some point. We have Pink Horror, which is a book that is themed around girlhood/womanhood, and the hard mode is the book is a debut. So the book I have chosen, I only picked it because Lexi from Books with Lexi chose it for this, and I didn't know what else to choose. So she's gone for Witchcraft for Wayward Children, which is Grady Hendrix' new release for next year. And I love Grady Hendrix, I really enjoy his books, but I believe this is about a group of girls or a couple of girls, so I'm hoping it's going to have like the girlhood, womanhood vibes, and that I can count it for this prompt, because I didn't know what else to do. So if you have any recommendations, let me know, but I stole this one from Lexi. Thanks, Lexi. Next we have multiple POV, so obviously book needs to have more than one POV, and the hard mode is there is a dual/multiple timelines. So my book actually does fit this, and also it is a reread, and it is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I really want to reread this series once I finish my reread of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I love this series so much and I just can't wait to get back into it. But we do have multiple POVs, and we do have dual timelines, so we go back in the past and then come back to the future, so I am really excited to reread this one, hopefully very soon. Next we have As Seen on the Big Screen, which is a book that has had a film or show adaptation, and the hard mode is it has to be a film or show that you haven't seen. So for this I've gone for Carrie by Stephen King. I've never read a Stephen King before, and I've only watched it, So this definitely counts for that. I have no idea what this is about, but this is the shortest Stephen King I could find, so it will do. And a lot of the other ones that have been like adapted into like TV series or movies I wasn't really that interested in, so I'm hoping like a short book might make it a bit easier. Next we have Out of Your Comfort Zone, which is a horror book that you don't typically read. So the hard mode for this is you have read from the author before. So I have not read from this author before, so I will not get the hard mode, but it is Hide by Kirsten White. I believe this is about like an abandoned theme park or something, and someone's going around killing people. I don't really know. But this is really out of my comfort zone. This has been on my TBR for years and I still haven't read it. I'm really scared of it and I really don't want to read it, but here we are. Next we have Short Story Collection, and the hard mode is the collection features more than 12 stories. So I'm not sure how many stories are in this one, but it is Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. So this is actually a graphic novel full of different short stories. So it's just easier because I don't really like short stories. So trying to find a way to fulfill this prompt without making me not fulfill the prompt, it meant it had to be a graphic novel. But it has multiple short stories in here, so I am really excited to read this one still. Next we have TBR Vet. So obviously this is a book that has been on your TBR for a very long time, and the hard mode is a book you've had on your TBR for over 2 years or is the oldest book on your TBR. So for this we have gone for The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. This has been on my TBR since it came out, which was 2 years ago, so this does count for the hard mode, which is really exciting. But I am also really excited to read this. I've really wanted to read all of these books, but for some reason I have an obsession with buying books and never reading them, so we're changing that this year. So hopefully I will get to this one, because I really do actually want to read it. And I'm interested in the synopsis, hence why I haven't unhauled it, so we can only but hope. And the final book on this TBR is Creepy Crawlies. So it is a book that features creepy crawlies, etc., snakes, bugs, spiders, and the hard mode is there is an imagery of them on the cover. So for this I have gone for What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I know nothing about this book. All I know is the cover creeps me out, and when googling apparently it has creepy crawlies, so that was enough for me. I didn't know what else to kind of do for this prompt, but thank you Google, and thank you Discord, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to fulfill the prompt. But if you have any recommendations for me at all for any prompts, let me know. If you think I've got any of the books wrong for the prompts, also let me know, because I'd love to know. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, leave a like a clapboard. Is that what they're called? I can't remember what they're called. Leave one of them in the description. Like the video, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all very soon for another video.